Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is Explanation of Battle Through the Heavens episode number 230 based on novel. Before starting the video, special thanks to Jeremiah Raymondville for super thanks. So let's start. Xiao Yang's words had undoubtedly stirred an uproar in this place. Soon after, many warriors from the Black Submerged Army cheered in unison. On the other hand, those members of the Lei clan had ugly expressions. This was the first time that they had been looked down upon. Humph, Xiao Yang, you should not act overly arrogantly. Lei Yun's smiling face had also disappeared while he cried out loud. There are times when trying to win with words is not good. Xiao Yang smiled slightly. His expression was calm and without ripple. He had also clearly heard what Lei Yun had said earlier. Although he did not wish to find fault with the latter, his heart involuntarily felt some displeasure at him making fun of Zun. Moreover, he also understood in his heart that if he wished to get these wild people to obediently shut their mouths, he would need some brutal tactics. Lei Dong frowned tightly. He looked at the black-clothed young man in front of him and vaguely felt a sense of danger within his heart. Other people might think that Xiao Yang defeating Hun Mieshun was merely rumors, but he clearly understood in his heart that this was indeed the truth. Moreover, he even knew that Hun Mieshun did not hold back even a little. Instead, he had been defeated after using all of his strength. He had once heard the clan head casually mention that the strongest person from the younger generation in the Dochi continent was definitely Xiao Yang from the Xiao clan. Lei Dong would never forget the soft sigh in the tone of Lei Ying as he uttered these words. Such a person had actually appeared in the Xiao clan, which had declined. This really caused one to feel a great disbelief. Lei Dong was someone who desired battles. In order to train, he was able to endure for 5 years within the demon lightning pool without any news and suffered the bitterness from having bitten by tens of thousands of lightning during this period of time. This, along with the many resources that the Lei clan had used to groom him, enabled him to possess his current achievement. From the bottom of his heart, he was extremely unwilling to admit that his achievement could not even be compared with someone from a declined clan. Since brother Xiao Yang has made such a request, Lei Yun, all of you should just listen to him. Lei Dong slowly exhaled and spoke in an indifferent voice. Understood. The expressions of Lei Yun and the others sunk upon hearing these words. They immediately smiled coldly and agreed. With a sudden step forward, the auras from the 10 of them suddenly soared to the peak. Lei Yun's aura was the strongest amongst them. It had actually reached the high-level Ban Sheng class. The remaining were mostly at the 9-star Do Zun class. The expressions of many present were slightly altered after these 10 ferocious auras surged. It was likely a little troublesome to deal with the combination of these 10 people. Xiao Yang, allow my Lei clan to see if those rumors are true. Lei Yun's boldness had once again rose after the aura surged. A low cry was emitted. The 10 of time rushed out almost simultaneously and they cooperated perfectly with each other. The 10 individuals separated with lightning-like speed and surrounded Xiao Yang. Their expressions were grave as they quickly changed the seal formed by their hands. 10 lightning pillars, which were 1,000 feet large, immediately rose. They quickly turned into 10 meandering lightning dragons that were roaring furiously. Lightning dragon slaughter. The expressions of the 10 individuals hardened as the lightning dragon meandered. All of them whistled downwards at the same time. A rumbling thunder roar resounded continuously. Lei Yun and the others were no fool. They understood Xiao Yang's strength. Hence, all of them had used their strongest attack together. The strength when 10 of them joined hands was quite great. Silver light flashed in the sky. Immediately, a lightning glow surged in front of the many pairs of eyes. The 10 lightning dragons were accompanied by ferocious roars as they violently collided onto Xiao Yang below. Bang! Energy ripples spread from the point of collision. The tough ground immediately burst apart, covering the place with dust. We've hit. Many pairs of eyes were stunned as they watched this scene. Earlier, Xiao Yang did not even appear to have dodged. The dust over the training ground slowly settled and Xiao Yang once again appeared in everyone's sight. However, he was still wearing his black clothes and standing straight. There was not even the slightest injury on him. Even the ground with 10 feet from him appeared undamaged, looking completely different from the mess in the other areas. How is this possible? The expressions of Lei Yun's group immediately became pale as they looked at Xiao Yang, who did not even take a step back. Immediately, a deep feeling of helplessness rose from them. They were actually this weak in the eyes of the other party. Your attack is still passable. The entire area was completely silent. Xiao Yang merely smiled slightly. He did not even look at Lei Yun's group. His eyes turned towards Lei Dong before extending his hand and laughed. After you. Bang! Lei Dong's face was so grave that it could not be even more serious. That casual manner of Xiao Yang caused him to feel a great amount of pressure. However, he was also a decisive individual. His body rushed forward like lightning the moment Xiao Yang's laughter sounded. He clenched his hand. A black lightning rapidly surged over his arm. Finally, it swiftly agglomerated into a long black spear in his hands. Lightning arcs leaped over the body of the spear. Lei Yidong was extremely quick. He appeared in front of Xiao Yang in almost the blink of an eye. The spear shadows danced immediately. Sharp spear winds directly covered the fatal spots around his body. A trace of extremely dark black lightning arc appeared in a partially visible manner. If it came into contact with it, a bloody hole would be formed even on the body of a 3-star elite Dosheng. Everyone outside the battleground held their breath as they looked at the continuous stream of spear shadows, which did not allow one to catch a breather. They were really unable to imagine just how they would deal with such rapid attacks if they were in Xiao Yang's place. This Lei Yidong does indeed have some ability. Jiyu Qingyang and the others looked at this scene. They involuntarily nodded. Even if it was him, it would likely be difficult for him to endure for a long time. Although this person was a little arrogant, he did have the capital to do so. However, this ability was perhaps not worth mentioning in front of Xiao Yang. Lei Yidong's spear doesn't appear to be able to touch Xiao Yang. Ji Yuxing looked at the battleground and suddenly exclaimed with shock. Lei Yidong was rumored to possess the strength of an advanced 3-star Dosheng. Adding the mutated lightning Do Qi on his body, his attack could be comparable to a 4-star Dosheng. However, such a strength was actually unable to even touch Xiao Yang's body. Just what level has the latter reached? Jiyu Qingyang and the rest by the side nodded their heads. They exchanged glances and were able to see a shock in the other party's eyes. This was especially the case for Jiyu Yao, who had once exchanged blows with Xiao Yang. He had ended up laughing continuously. When Xiao Yang had first arrived at the Jiyu clan, he still needed to fight with all his strength in order to narrowly beat Jiyu Yao. Now, however, the gap between the two of them had been endlessly widened. Since even those from around were able to see the situation, Lei Yidong, who was participating in the battle, had naturally also detected this. The more he fought, the more frightened he was. Xiao Yang in front of him was just like a black hole. Regardless of how sharp his attacks were, they were quietly devoured by Xiao Yang. None of them even damaged the latter. Demon lightning descend. Lei Yidong's expression was tensed. Suddenly, a ruthlessness flashed across his eyes. The sharp spear shadows in the sky suddenly paused. One could see him bite his tongue. Blood shot out. There was actually black lightning arcs flashing within the blood. The blood quickly landed on the tip of the spear and the tip of the spear quickly dimmed. Soon after, Lei Yidong's spear trembled. His speed was suddenly raised to the limit as he pierced towards Xiao Yang's throat with lightning-like speed. How fast? Lei Yidong suddenly raised his speed, causing the expressions of many to change. Even someone as strong as Jiyu Qingyang and the rest could only see a black light flash. The contact merely lasted for only a moment. Everyone had sensed a black light flashed in their eyes and a soft sound appeared. Their eyes hurriedly glanced over, only to see Lei Yidong's spear being heavily pierced onto Xiao Yang's wide palm. However, those sharp-eyed individuals could discover that the tip of Lei Yidong's spear continued to be half an inch from Xiao Yang's palm. Regardless of how wildly Lei Yidong activated his Do Qi, he was unable to advance even a little. Lei Yidong's full force attack was actually received by Xiao Yang's palm. Bang! Lei Yidong's palm was suddenly smashed onto the spear as he clenched his teeth. Black lightning abruptly surged. In an instant, it charged onto Xiao Yang's arm. Before Lei Yidong could rejoice, however, that black lightning quickly dimmed. It was as though there was something being devoured. A familiar taste. Xiao Yang smiled slightly as he devoured the black demon lightning that had invaded his body. He suddenly grabbed with his hand and the long spear in Lei Yidong's hand exploded apart. He immediately stepped forward and approached the latter's body in a ghost-like fashion. The gentle palm randomly landed on the latter's chest. His palm shook and everyone saw Lei Yidong miserably flying backwards. "Thank you for the victory," Xiao Yang smiled and said after pushing Lei Yidong back with a palm. The rate at which the battle came to an end caused one to be stunned. Within a short few minutes, Lei Yidong's group was easily defeated in Xiao Yang's hands. Everyone in the battleground had become quiet for a moment due to this. Soon after, the many black submerged army warriors began to cheer. The noise was like thunder, which resounded over the square. Bang! Lei Yidong fell miserably on the ground amidst the deafening cheer. He clenched his teeth and was just about to attack when a thunder-like laughter suddenly sounded from nowhere. "Ha ha, what an excellent little fellow from the Xiao clan. These little brats does indeed have a great gap compared to you. However, I have become a little itchy-handed after watching this. May I know if you are bold enough to receive a strike from me?" The clan head of the Lei clan? This old fellow really doesn't care about his seniority. Jiyu Qingyang, Zun and the others immediately had a change in expression upon hearing this loud laughter. They did not expect that this battle-crazy old man who biasly sided with his kin would actually be unable to resist appearing. It seemed that Xiao Yang defeating these younger generation of the Lei clan by himself had caused him to be unable to sit still. This sudden scene also caused Xiao Yang to frown slightly. He did not expect that this old fellow would actually show himself in this matter between younger generation. Relax, little fellow Xiao Yang. This elderly self will only use 50% of my strength. What do you say? Lei Ying's loud laughter once again sounded as Xiao Yang frowned. Xiao Yang inhaled a deep breath after seeing this old man pressing him. Without any unnecessary words, he cupped his hands together and cried out in a deep voice. Xiao Yang from the Xiao clan will seek advice from you. Ha ha, good, you are indeed bold. You do possess some of the courage of Xiao Xian from back then. The sky above the training ground suddenly began to fluctuate. Immediately, 3 figures flashed and appeared. They were Jiyu Yuan trio within the large hall. That loud laughter was emitted from the mouth of the metal tower-like man to the left. Zun'er frowned slightly as she stood on the tall stage a short distance away. Jiyu Hua at the side had a sunken face as he spoke with some irritation. Just what is the clan head of the Lei clan doing? In terms of seniority, he is many times older than Xiao Yang. Yet, he actually dares to intervene. All of them understood that although Xiao Yang could currently be called the most outstanding person amongst the younger generation of the Dochi continent, the other part here was the clan head of the Lei clan. There were hardly anyone on the Dochi continent who could defeat the latter. Given his status, it was a little overboard for him to attack Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang Jidi likely has his own plans. He will not do something that he does not have any confidence in. Although her heart felt a little worried, Zun'er had a relatively greater confidence towards Xiao Yang. She was aware that the latter would not do something overly reckless. Since he dared to accept the challenge, it was likely that he did have some confidence. Jiyu Hua by the side laughed bitterly upon hearing this. Lei Ying was an 8-star Do Sheng. Just thinking of this level made them feel a little helpless. There was no need to even mention fighting him. Most people present had felt extremely stunned that Xiao Yang dared to accept Lei Ying's challenge. Immediately, everyone looked at each other. Their eyes looked at the skinny figure standing on the training ground. Forget about him. Just this boldness had caused many to admire you greatly. Lei Yidong's expression was extremely complicated as he glanced at Xiao Yang. After which, he quietly withdrew. His full force attack did not allow Xiao Yang to take even half a step back. On the other hand, he had been defeated under the sharp palm of the other party. The cruel reality had told him the gap between the two. Lei Yun lowered his head in a dispirited manner as he stood behind Lei Yidong. Earlier, the 10 of them had joined hands, but Xiao Yang had ultimately did not look at him in the eye. This kind of quiet face-off might cause them to be a little furious, but most of the time, they felt a helplessness. They did not even doubt that if Xiao Yang really have such thoughts, it was likely that a random wave of his hand had caused the 10 of them to immediately lie on the ground. However, he did not do this. Perhaps he felt a contempt against such an action. In Xiao Yang's eyes, they appeared like some insects arrogantly trying to shake a giant tree. A true expert would never be bothered with the provocation of the weak. Lei Yun thought that if he had not teased Zun'er with his words, it was likely that Xiao Yang would not even bother to look at him. Although this fellow is very strong, he really does not know his limits. The clan head is an 8-star Do Sheng. Even 50% of his strength is more than sufficient to deal with an ordinary 7-star Do Sheng. Liu Yun hesitated for a moment as he stepped back. Finally, he muttered softly, "Shut up." Lei Yidong cried coldly and glared ferociously at Lei Yun. He chided, "Don't you find that you have embarrassed yourself sufficiently? If it is not because the few of you have insisted on heading here, none of this would have happened. Even if Xiao Yang is unable to receive a strike from the clan head, he will not suffer any damage to his reputation. Instead, many will admire his courage." Lei Yun shrunk his shoulder after seeing Lei Yidong becoming furious. He hurriedly shut his mouth. The latter had a relatively high prestige in their hearts. "Ha ha, is that the little fellow from the Xiao clan? He does appear to be equal to Xiao Xian in terms of his boldness." The clan head of the Yang clan, who had a pair of bright red eyebrows, stood in the sky and looked at Xiao Yang below in a strange manner. He immediately laughed. "Lei Ying, isn't it a little inappropriate for you to fight Xiao Yang, given your status?" Jiyu Yuan spoke in a faint voice. "Ha ha, it is not as though you are unaware of my temperament. I am never concerned about age and status when fighting others. All I care about is ability." Lei Ying's laughter was like thunder as it continuously reverberated in the sky. Immediately, he looked at Xiao Yang and laughed. "However, since clan head Jiyu Yuan has put it this way, we can forget about it if you think that it is dangerous." Xiao Yang had long since heard about the great name of clan head Lei Ying. "It is my honor to be able to fight with you." Xiao Yang smiled. He had surprised others by not simply taking the opportunity and withdraw. Instead, he smilingly accepted the fight. There was likely a need for the 3 clans to have a deep discussion over the matter of the Han clan. There might even be a need for an alliance. It is best to place both parties on equal footing when conducting such a discussion. Otherwise, there would ultimately be some unnecessary trouble. The best method to place both parties on the same footing was to display a strength that the other party would hold in high regard. Lei Ying was an 8-star Do Sheng. 50% of his strength could turn an ordinary 7-star Do Sheng into a mess. Currently, Xiao Yang had the strength of an intermediate 6-star Do Sheng. If he was to use some other aid, he would be comparable to a 7-star Do Sheng. Hence, it was not impossible to receive a strike from Lei Ying containing 50% of the latter's strength. Xiao Yang's words once again stunned many individuals. Lei Ying also involuntarily laughed out loud. He said, "Good, little fellow, you really suit my taste." Jiyu Yuan by the side smiled slightly upon seeing this. He glanced at Xiao Yang but did not say anything more. Lei Ying slowly lowered his body from the sky. Both of his hands were crossed over his chest. Black-colored lightning glow lingered over his body. There was a vague terrifying aura spreading quietly. This caused those people around the training ground to involuntarily withdraw some distance. Their expressions were frightened as they looked at the metal tower-like figure. Xiao Yang watched Lei Ying with a grave expression. Immediately, he inhaled a deep breath of air. A thought passed through his mind and Little Yi swiftly merged with his soul. Immediately, pink flame seeped out from within his body. His body also became as crystal clear as pink glass. Xiao Yang had naturally unleashed the extermination fire body immediately when faced with such a powerful opponent. There are 6 types of heavenly flame scent within the flame. Yang Jin's eyes contained a strange glint as he stared at Xiao Yang. Given his eyesight, it took only a glance for him to see through the number of heavenly flames merged within the pink flame. A surprise immediately rose on his face. He had personally experienced just how difficult it was to merge heavenly flames. Just merging 2 heavenly flames had exhausted all his strength. He had never even imagined merging 6 types of heavenly flames. Many pairs of eyes gathered onto Xiao Yang's body. They looked at the body, which had suddenly turned glass-like. Many of them had startled faces. However, after they gradually sensed the swiftly rising aura of Xiao Yang behind him, this surprise quickly turned into shock. Lei Yidong, who had just exchanged blows with him, smiled bitterly and shook his head. He was actually holding back. This aura likely possessed the strength of an initial 7-star Do Sheng. This little fellow has used the heavenly strength until its limit. A surprise flashed across the eyes of Yang Jin and the others as they muttered to themselves. Clan head Lei Ying, try receiving this attack of mine. Pride surged within Xiao Yang's heart as he once again used the extermination fire lotus and sensed the volcanic eruption like extermination force. A flame quickly agglomerated in Xiao Yang's palm as it struck forward. It directly agglomerated into an exquisite 6-colored fire lotus at a shocking speed. An extermination ripple, which could not be restrained, was suddenly unleashed the moment the fire lotus was formed. This caused Yang Jin and Jiyu Yuan in the distance to exchange a sidelong glance. What a terrifying fire lotus! Jiyu Dao of the Jiyu clan's 3 immortals had a grave expression as he watched the fire lotus on Xiao Yang's palm. Even he could sense danger from it. It was unexpected that the fire lotus Xiao Yang had created after advancing into the 6-star Do Sheng class would actually possess such a powerful strength. If this was used when Han Shuo was chasing after them back then, just the strength of this fire lotus would likely cause the latter to feel afraid. The fire lotus resulted in the shock of many individuals after it appeared. Even Lei Ying's expression had become slightly solemn. He felt a great interest and laughed out loud. That fan-like huge palm of his grabbed forward. Immediately, a thunder roar sounded on his palm, appearing like a thundercloud that had been struck by many times. Have a taste of my Lei clan's lightning calamity palm. A lightning glow surged over Lei Ying's palm. Finally, it suddenly turned into a compressed thundercloud. The thundercloud was beating rapidly like a heart. An instant later, this entire place suddenly became dark. A lightning glow palm that had merely been shrunk until the size of a palm suddenly rushed out from within the thundercloud. Finally, it collided heavily with Xiao Yang's fire lotus in front of many pairs of eyes. Bang! An earth-shaking-like explosion immediately resounded over the entire Jiyu realm as a frightening energy storm swept over the place in a manner that no one could obstruct. The frightening assault wave that had struck towards them pushed Xiao Yang back by hundreds of meters. Lei Ying in the sky staggered a couple of steps backwards. Immediately, the silver tower-like body stepped on the empty space and actually steadied itself within the assault wave. The strength of an 8-star Do Sheng was extraordinary. Xiao Yang has actually received it. Many people exclaimed out loud after seeing that Xiao Yang did not suffer any serious injury despite being forced to take hundreds of steps back. This was especially the case for Lei Yidong and the others. They involuntarily inhaled a breath of cold air. The Lightning Calamity Palm was a rare Tian-class high-level Do skill within the Jiyu clan. Moreover, it was unleashed by Lei Ying. Its might could easily destroy all living creatures within a 500-kilometer radius. Yet, it was only able to force Xiao Yang to take a couple of hundred steps back. The frightening wave spread wildly in the sky while everyone were feeling shocked. Immediately, Jiu Yuan waved his sleeve and the space itself had actually collapsed. A huge black hole appeared and devoured all of the wild energy wave. Jiu Yuan finally clapped his hands and laughed after completing this action. Lei Ying, that lightning calamity palm of yours contains more than 50% of your strength. Ha ha, outstanding fellow. You are indeed worthy of being the descendant of Xiao Xian. Lei Ying was not irritated upon hearing this. Instead, he laughed heartily. That palm strike from earlier made him feel really good. Xiao Yang laughed bitterly. Both of his hands were currently completely numb. Hence, he was unable to cup his hands together. He could only helplessly shake his head in front of the many respectful pairs of eyes around him. Jiu Yuan laughed faintly as he stood in the sky. Both of his hands were immediately placed behind him. He lifted his head and looked into the empty space. That calm voice was just like a sudden thunder that caused one to feel that their skin had been blasted apart. Hun Tiendi, given your status, why do you need to act so stealthily? Jiu Yuan's voice was just like an explosion from nowhere, causing those present to stiffen their bodies. An instant later, many shocked eyes were suddenly lifted. They looked at the empty space. Do Qi began to surge out from the bodies of those black submerged army, who were still observing Xiao Yang's battle earlier, in all directions. Hun Tiendi. The name Jiu Yuan continuously resounded and exploded in Xiao Yang's ear. This caused his fist to be slowly tightened. That main culprit who had nearly caused the Xiao clan to be exterminated was finally about to appear. Jiu clan, be alert. The three immortals from the Jiu clan rushed towards the sky at almost the same time. A stern cry reverberated throughout the place. Immediately, many rays of light flew past the mountain range. All the experts from the Jiu clan appeared together. Immediately, a vast and mighty aura surged in the sky. That lineup caused Xiao Yang to inhale a breath of cold air. Was this the strength of the Jiu clan? Jiu Yuan's body was suspended in the sky while Do Qi surged through it. Both of his hands were placed behind him. His expression was calm as he looked at the empty space. Although there was nothing there, he did not show any intention of shifting his eyes away. Elder Jiu Yuan, what is it? Yang Jin's and Lei Ying's expressions had become grave at this moment. Their bodies moved and they appeared beside Jiu Yuan. Their eyes looked towards the empty realm. However, they did not sense anything. Immediately, a great caution rose in their hearts. Even with their great strength, they were still extremely afraid of that person from the Hun clan. Hun Tiendi is really here? Could it be that they intend to attack the Jiu clan? Yang Jin spoke in a deep voice. Even he involuntarily knitted his brow after uttering these words. The Jiu clan was not a clan that other ancient clans could compare to. Even if the Hun clan was to launch an all-out assault, it would be extremely difficult for them to destroy the Jiu clan like they did with the Ling clan. Jiu Yuan did not reply. His eyes were merely focused at that spot in the space. The originally unusually noisy mountain range had become completely quiet following his silence. One could vaguely hear the sound of one's heartbeat pounding rapidly. Everyone understood just what scene would appear today if the Hun clan was to really appear. That scene would be far from what the battle at the Yarrow clan could compare with. The silence of this place continued for a couple of minutes. However, no one dared to relax. Many pairs of eyes were staring intently at that spot in the air. This kind of quiet focus continued for a couple more minutes before that empty space suddenly formed many ripples. A soft laughter was slowly being emitted at the same time. Ha ha, Jiu Yuan, it has been a long time since we met, but your perception is still as sharp as ever. The appearance of this voice immediately caused all the experts from the Jiu clan to slowly ready their bodies. Do Qi whistled like floodwaters within their bodies. Any slight movement would quickly trigger a storm-like attack. The fluctuation of the space caused a swirl to be slowly formed. A long hand was soon extended out from within the swirl. It held the top of the swirl while a figure slowly walked out from it and finally appeared in front of everyone's eyes. The person who had walked out from the swirl was wearing a greyish-white cloth. He appeared to be in his 30s or so. His face was handsome with a pair of unusually bright eyes that seemed to be able to see through one's heart. The first impression that this person gave was that he was a refined individual. If this person held a book in his hand, he would likely appear no different from a scholar. However, it was precisely the appearance of this man, who appeared like a weak scholar, that caused Lei Ying and Yang Jin to become extremely grave. Even Jiu Yuan had focused his eyes on this person. He is the clan head of the Hun clan, Hun Tiendi. Xiao Yang was stunned upon seeing this scene. Clearly, he was unable to link this seemingly warm and refined man with that strangest and most sinister faction on the Dochi continent. A couple of human figures slowly walked out from the swirl from behind this man after he appeared. The person leading at the front was covered in black flames. Surprisingly, it was the Nihility devouring flame, which Xiao Yang had met at the Yarrow clan back then. Behind him was all the so-called Hun clan 4 demon saints. It was likely extremely difficult to find another lineup like this in the entire Dochi continent. With the appearance of these people, all the elders of the Jiyu clan began to reveal tensed expressions. Many defensive light barrier rose from within the mountain range. The light crossed each other, giving it an extremely brilliant appearance. Haha, the Jiyu clan is really very lively today. Jiyu Yuan, Lei Ying, Yang Jin, the four of us has likely not gathered together for thousands of years, right? The white-clothed man in the sky merely smiled slightly in the face of the countless number of defensive barriers below. His voice was gentle as he spoke. Hun Tiendi, this is not a place where you should come. Jiyu Yuan's eyes gathered on the white-clothed man and slowly said, there is nowhere in this where I should not go. Hun Tiendi laughed. The both of them acted as though they were engaged in a casual chat. Their voices were both extremely calm. Hun Tiendi, is your Hun clan responsible for the disappearance of the Ling, Shuo and Yarrow clans? Lei Ying cried out in a stern voice. Although he was already somewhat aware of the situation, he still really wished to open his mouth and ask. There are some answers that you only need to know in your hearts, Hun Tiendi casually smiled and said. His eyes slowly swept over the area below. A chill involuntarily rose from deep within the soul of any individuals caught by his eyes. Although his gaze appeared peaceful, there was a completely emotionless iciness under it. It was as though everything in the world was no different from some mere grass in his eyes. You are indeed the one responsible. Lei Ying's and Yang Jin's faces quickly became gloomy after hearing this reply from Hun Tiendi. The last Tunling king from the Tunling clan back then has likely been devoured by the nihility devouring flame, right? Moreover, it should also be the reason for the continual survival of the Hun clan until now, right? Jiyu Yuan's eyes looked at the human figure being enveloped in black flames behind Hun Tiendi and softly said, had I known this, I should have finished you off back then. Jiyu Yuan, you think too highly of yourself. You might be able to defeat me back then, but I'm afraid that you do not have the ability to completely destroy me. The black flames that covered the human figure immediately churned upon hearing this. He let out a strange laughter. Moreover, I must thank you for what you have done. If it is not because of this 1000-year retreat, I'm afraid that I would not have been able to reach the 9-star Do Sheng class. Other than Jiyu Yuan, everyone else present had a change in expression upon hearing the words of the nihility devouring flame. 9-star Fu Sheng. That was basically the peak existence in this world. In other words, would it not mean that the Hun clan possessed 2 9-star Do Shengs? He actually possessed the strength of a 9-star Do Sheng. Xiao Yang's expression had turned gloomy at this moment. 2 9-star Do Shengs. Even the Jiyu clan could not compare with it. No wonder the nihility devouring flame was able to lead a group to destroy the Yarrow clan. He was actually this powerful. I am already aware of this since you were able to swallow the Yarrow clan's realm into your body. Jiyu Yuan spoke in a faint voice. A mere initial 9-star Do Sheng. If I get the chance, I will seal you forever. You will likely never be able to get such an opportunity. Hun Tiendi laughed softly. Hun Tiendi, if you intend to attack the Jiyu clan by leading so many people over, it is likely that this is still insufficient. Jiyu Yuan appeared calm. The demeanor of the head of a clan was completely exposed. It is indeed a little insufficient. Hun Tiendi nodded and did not refute the claim. Xiao Yang frowned and watched this scene from below. Although the members of the Hun clan had appeared, they did not show any signs of attacking. However, Xiao Yang understood in his heart that these people will definitely not do anything meaningless. There must be a reason for their current action. Could it be that they are using this opportunity to place a formation or something? This thought flashed and disappeared. Jiyu Yuan was terrifyingly strong. He did not lose to Hun Tiendi in strength. It would likely be extremely difficult for the other party to succeed in doing such a thing in front of Jiyu Yuan. After all, Jiyu Yuan was not Yarrow Dan. Clan head Jiyu Yuan, be careful of any tricks. Yang Jin spoke in a deep voice as he stood in the sky. Clearly, he also understood that this action of the Hun clan clearly had some hidden agenda. Hun Tiendi merely smiled in the face of Yang Jin's reminder. Both of his hands were placed behind him. He did not speak. All he did was lead his group to simply stand in the air in this manner and face off against Jiyu Yuan's group. This strange scene caused Xiao Yang to knit his brows tightly together. His body moved and appeared beside Sun Er. The situation was not quite right. He must focus his mind to prevent any situation from happening. Sun Er's safety was clearly most important. Be careful. Sun Er spoke in a soft voice as she looked at Xiao Yang beside her. Xiao Yang nodded slightly. He frowned tightly. The actions of the Hun clan was far too strange. This manner was as though he was purposefully restraining Jiyu Yuan and the others. What are they planning to do? Xiao Yang's fingers were rubbed quickly together. Suddenly his fingers paused. His eyes turned towards Sun Er as he softly asked, is the ancient jade of the Jiyu clan with Uncle Jiyu? Sun Er was startled upon hearing this. She hesitated for a moment before replying softly, no, The ancient jade is in the ancestral hall. That is the most tightly guarded place. Most of the experts within the ancestral hall should have already come out here, right? Xiao Yang looked at the experts from the Jiyu clan in the sky and remarked. Zuna swept her pretty eyes around the place. Immediately, her expression was slightly altered. She had indeed discovered that many experts from the ancestral hall had been attracted out here. The aim of the Hun clan was the ancient jade of the Jiyu clan. Xiao Yang's expression turned gloomy after seeing Zuna's face. He lifted his head and cried out, "Uncle Jiyu. Be careful of the ancient jade of the Jiyu clan." Jiyu Yuan, who had been face-off with Hun Tiendi in the sky, had a sudden change in expression. Before he could let out a stern cry, a hurried siren was suddenly emitted from deep within the mountain range. It was a warning from the ancestral hall. The hurried warning siren resounded over this world in a deafening manner. It immediately spread apart. It caused the expressions of all the members of the Jiyu clan suddenly changed drastically. Hun Tiendi. Jiyu Yuan's expression was icy cold. His eyes stared at Hun Tiendi. The sky had suddenly become a lot dimmer. Vast and mighty natural energy whistled from behind. It connected the sky and land. Looking from a distance, it appeared just like an endless energy tide. Splashing noise resounded continuously. An energy tide was usually formed only when there was an unnatural natural phenomenon occurring. This spectacular scene was also something that the human strength could not reach. However, that energy tide, which might not even be seen in 100 years, was actually formed from a mere thought by Jiyu Yuan. The strength of a 9-star Do Sheng was actually this frightening. The seemingly endless energy tide churned continuously. That pressure, which came spreading over, caused even Hun Yang and the others who made up the 4 demon saints of the Hun clan to adopt an extremely solemn expression. They did not doubt that if they were to attack, it was likely that they would not even last a few exchanges against Jiyu Yuan. Their bodies and even their souls would be crumbed into nothing under the frightening pressure. The only ones in this world who could remain calm in the face of the natural tide Jiyu Yuan had summoned were Hun Tiendi and Nihility Devouring Flame. Clan head, Elder Jiyu Yang has injured the Ancestor Hall Elder and stole the ancient jade. Jiyu Yuan expression was icy. A ray of light suddenly rushed out from deep within the mountain range. A somewhat miserable figure swiftly hurried forward and cried out in a sharp voice. What? The entire Jiyu clan turned into an uproar after this cry sounded. The eyes of everyone were filled with disbelief. Elder Jiyu Yang? How is this possible? Zuna's face had also changed drastically at this moment as she involuntarily cried out loud. What happened? Could it be that Elder Jiyu Yang is a spy of the Hun clan? Xiao Yang's expression was gloomy. The Hun clan seemed to greatly specialized in using this trick. Jiyu Yang is the second elder of the Ancestral Hall. He had guarded the Ancestral Hall for hundreds of years and is extremely loyal to the Jiyu clan. How can it be possible for him to seal the ancient jade and flee? Zuna muttered to herself. From the looks of it, she had once had some contact with that elder Jiyu Yang. Moreover, her impression of him was quite good. This is done by you? Jiyu Yuan's icy eyes looked at the smiling Hun Tiendi and slowly demanded. Hun Tiendi grinned. However, he did not open his mouth to say anything. At the same time, he did not have any intention to turn around and leave. A pair of eyes focused on Jiyu Yuan. As long as he stood here, even Jiyu Yuan would not dare to simply turn around and leave. This was because the latter understood that should he leave, there would no longer be anyone obstructing him in this place. Jiyu Yuan naturally understood Hun Tiendi's mind. His icy chill on his face was quickly withdrawn. At this level of his mental fortitude was already as solid as stone. Even the loss of the ancient jade did not cause him to continue remaining furious. Seal the Jiyu realm. Jiyu Dao, the 3 of you will lead the Black Submerge Army and begin a search. Seek Jiyu Dao out. Jiyu Yuan opened his mouth and cried. That's right. The 3 immortals of the Jiyu realm responded immediately upon hearing this. However, the 3 of them had just moved when the 4 demon saints of the Hun clan behind Hun Tiendi drifted forward. From the looks of it, they were actually intending on stopping the trio. Haha, Jiyu Yuan, these people cannot leave, Hun Tiendi laughed. This is not something for you to decide. Jiyu Yuan spoke in a cold voice. Immediately, he stepped forward. The seemingly endless energy tide behind him immediately churned uncontrollably. It turned into 100,000 feet large tidal hand as it slammed towards Hun Tiendi. The space where the palm wind passed trembled intensely. A random strike from such an expert could easily tear the space apart. Are you finally unable to control yourself and wish to fight? However, you should be aware that this has little impact on me. Hun Tiendi smiled after seeing Jiyu Yuan's earth-shaking-like attack. He lifted his palm and a black hole was formed on his palm. It swelled into 100,000 feet at a shocking speed and directly wrapped around this entire world. Seeing that dark black hole, even Xiao Yang and the others felt a chill rising in their hearts. They did not doubt that if they were to get entangled into it, even their souls would vanish in an instant. The large tidal hand in the distant sky violently collided with the black hole. No earth-shaking loud sound appeared. Only the slightly collapsed spatial lines and the overflowing destructive force was present. If it was not because the GU realm had been reinforced over the thousands of years, this fight between the two would cause the space to be directly torn apart. Seeing that GU Yuan had actually attacked Han Tiandi, the expressions of Yang Jin and Lei Ying became slightly distorted. They exchanged glances before suddenly nodding quietly. The actions of the Hub clan had clearly placed all the ancient clans as their targets. Since they dared to attack the GU clan this time around, the Yang and Lei clan would definitely meet the same fate in the future. Attack! Yang Jin's low cry sounded and the two of them shot out simultaneously. The frightening aura of an 8-star Do Sheng surged directly into the clouds. The pressure from it caused the space itself to emit a slight creaking sound. The might from the simultaneous attack from the both of them was naturally quite strong. After all, with the exception of GU Yuan, Han Tiandi, and the Nihility Devouring Flame, they were likely the strongest expert on this continent. While Ya Jin duo were about to attack, the Nihility Devouring Flame, who had been standing still, merely laughed. He took a stride forward, penetrated through the space and appeared in front of the two. Black flame continuously erupted from within his body. Finally, it turned into a couple of huge black dragon fists that lingered around him. A dragon roar shook the sky. Humph! Yang Jin duo snorted coldly after seeing the Nihility Devouring Flame attacked. Although the latter had already stepped into the 9-star Do Sheng class, he was after all only an initial 9-star Do Sheng. On the other hand, the both of them were advanced 8-star Do Sheng. They were not inferior to the Nihility Devouring Flame if they were to join hands. Zun lead the others and search the mountain. Jiu Yang has definitely not managed to escape. Capture him and snatch the ancient jade back. Jiu Dao in the sky had a grave expression as he cried out sternly, all remaining elders, set up the great formation to guard the clan. Seal the Jiu realm and the mountain range. Do not allow the Hun clan any opportunity to escape. The many elders in the sky responded in unison after hearing Jiu Dao's stern cry. Those fights present in the sky were merely feeling each other out, but they needed to take precaution against any hidden tactics of the Han clan. Hence, they were unable to split too much attention in lending a hand. Big brother Qing Yang, search the mountain. Zun had a completely grave expression at this moment. Her pretty eyes turned towards Jiu Qing Yang's group as she cried out. Understood. Jiu Qing Yang and the upper echelons of the Black Submerged Army immediately acknowledged upon hearing the order. Many black figures surged forward like locust and entered the mountain range to begin an inch-by-inch search. Xiao Yang's expression became grave as he watched the Jiu clan being faced with a great enemy in an instant. Although the Han clan did not dispatch a large army this time around, the few people in the sky represented the upper echelon of the Han clan. This lineup was many times stronger compared to when they attacked the Yarrow clan. Moreover, Xiao Yang also understood that although the fight in the sky seemed to be able to destroy the world, both parties were merely probing each other's strength or perhaps delaying the time. The reason that they are delaying time was clearly because of Jiu Yang. The Han clan seemed to be dragging things out until Jiu Yang show himself and hand the ancient jade to them, while the Jiu clan was delaying time to search for that person and snatch back the ancient jade. Hence, the most important factor in this seemingly intense fight was Jiu Yang, who had stolen the ancient jade. Zun what is Jiu Yang's strength like? Xiao Yang's eyes looked over this mountain range. Although the Black Submerged Army was searching all over the place, there was no reply from them even until now. He immediately frowned and asked, Advance 5-star Do Sheng class. Zun clenched her teeth. This Jiu Yang could be considered to be one of the stronger individuals within the Jiu clan. Who would have expected that he would actually do such a thing? Has his soul reached the perfect heavenly state? Xiaoyan once again asked. I don't think so. There is perhaps still some gap to the perfect level. Zun mused for a moment before replying. Training one's soul to the perfect heavenly state was not an easy task. Help me stand guard. Xiao Yang quickly narrowed his eyes upon hearing this. He directly sat down in the air and instruction. Seals were formed by his hands and his soul once again merged with Little Yi. Immediately, his originally majestic spiritual strength had actually soared once again. Invisible spiritual strength spread in all direction from Xiao Yang's brow like floodwater. Finally, it swiftly scanned the incomparably enormous mountain range. Xiao Yang's control over his spiritual strength could be considered to have reached the pinnacle. An endless amount of spiritual strength covered the mountain range like densely packed small snakes. Due to him having temporarily merged with Little Yi, his spiritual strength could even penetrate deep underground and use the magma underground to detect the activity in it. With the help from Little Yi, Xiao Yang's current spiritual strength could encompass the area within tens of thousands of kilometers around him. As long as Ji Yang had yet to escape from this mountain range, it would be impossible for him to hide from the probing spiritual perception from Xiao Yang. Sun could vaguely sense a kind of invisible spiritual strength penetrating through her body after she saw Xiao Yang sit down. She quickly took a couple of steps closer. Her face cautiously observed her surroundings. Sun, we can't find him. Ji Qingyang and the others suddenly rushed over from all directions with ugly expressions while Xiao Yang was probing. They spoke with dissatisfaction. They had basically searched the entire mountain range, but they were still unable to discover Ji Yang. Sun knitted her brow. She gently waved her hand. Her pretty eyes looked towards Xiao Yang. Currently, her father and the 3 grand elders of the Jiyu clan had been held back by the Han clan. Whether they could find Ji Yang would depend on Xiao Yang. Ji Qingyang and the rest understood something after seeing Sun's eyes. They nodded quietly and did not utter anything to disturb Xiao Yang. This silence continued for around 10 minutes. Ji Qingyang and the rest were about to involuntarily return to searching the mountain when Xiao Yang's tightly shut eyes suddenly opened. His palm suddenly slammed onto the ground. Immediately, a mountain that was 100,000 feet away suddenly exploded. Hot magma surged from it. A figure was also shot out from it in a somewhat miserable manner. Ji Yang. The expressions of Sun and the rest quickly became cold as they looked at the figure hiding in the magma. This video will end here.